Hi, welcome back. I'm Lorenzo, and today I just wanted to share what we did while we were in Portugal. We were in Porto, Lisbon, and Sintra, and I feel like these are the most popular places for people to visit. We started in Porto, and we flew in from Barcelona, and our first night we just grabbed some local food that was near us, and it was honestly delicious, so I highly suggest that restaurant. Then we just kind of did a little magic hour walk and kind of just got to know the immediate area around us. It was just beautiful time of day, so perfect for taking pictures. Highly recommend get out there right before sunset. The next morning, we decided to do a little sightseeing walking tour that we kind of set up. We looked up all the places that we really wanted to see and just kind of lined them up in a walking tour. So we started at the Chapel of Souls, just kind of wanted to see the tile, which was like the main thing I really wanted to see. Then we tried the Pastel de Nata at this place that was on Rue de Santa Catarina, which was the main street that we were walking down. We stopped at the Church of Saint Ildefonso, and that had a lot of beautiful tile as well. You could go inside, but we didn't really feel the need to. We just kind of looked inside. Next stop was the São Bento station. This is an active train station. It was extremely busy. They were doing a lot of construction around this area, so just a heads up. It's not going to be like a quiet, peaceful place for a photo shoot, but it was really cool to see all the tile work again. Then we walked all the way down to the Porto Cathedral. It was a little bit of a hill, so just keep that in mind. Porto is very hilly, but it was really cool. It's a very old church, so it was cool to see that kind of era alongside some newer buildings as well. You do have to pay to go into this place, and so we didn't do that. We just kind of wanted to do a brief walk. Next, we walked across the Louis Bridge, and this is designed by the same, I think, engineer or architect as the Eiffel Tower. It has 2 levels, and the top level has the kind of like streetcar going down it. It was terrifying for me as someone who's afraid of heights, but we made it. We grabbed a quick snack of pizza to share, and then we walked down back the other side on the lower level of the bridge and stopped at the market that is down by the riverfront. And there's tons of restaurants here, tons of cool buildings, and just tons of like touristy things that you can buy, like souvenirs. So it's a good spot. We ended our day with some dinner, and I just had some falafel, and then we were off to our next destination. We took a train to Lisbon. This took a couple hours, and it was a really nice train ride. We checked into our Airbnb. I really liked staying in an Airbnb because this one had such beautiful views, but it was also cheaper than the hotel options that we were finding. And then we just grabbed some dinner at this vegan restaurant. It was really nice. We actually ate there twice. And again, just walked around our Airbnb, got some gelato, kind of got a sense of where we were staying. We were staying in central Lisbon, so. Next morning, we went and got some brunch, started with a smoothie at this really cool restaurant that was right by our Airbnb. There's tons of beautiful restaurants and tons of great food. Everyone was super nice. And again, there's a lot of lovely tile and architecture, so it's really awesome if you're into that kind of thing. Then today we were doing a long walk. We walked down the Rua Augusta. It has tons of shops, tons of different like piazzas. I guess they're not called piazzas, but you know what I mean. Squares where you can walk around and kind of see things. So we took that all the way from the Rosio station down to the waterfront. We weren't planning initially on going all the way to the Blim Tower, but that is what we did. So we walked all the way from there to the tower. We stopped at Pink Street just for a quick photo. There really isn't anything at Pink Street, so you don't really need more than a couple seconds to just kind of see it and then get on your way. The bridge was really cool. It definitely reminded me of San Francisco. But this was a very, very, very long walk. I don't recommend doing this unless you are, used to walking that far. And since this was at the end of our trip, we were pretty used to it. It took us over an hour to walk there. Right by the Bloom Tower is also the Monastery of Geronimo. So that was really cool to see. We, again, didn't buy tickets for this because we just wanted to look on the outside. And there was lots of tourists here, so I would definitely suggest getting here early. If you're going to go inside any of these places, I would get your tickets beforehand. But yeah, it was a really lovely area, and we kind of just wanted to check out the space without waiting in line to get into places. And then we took a Uber back home because we did not want to walk again. Then we kind of dressed up for a little dinner. We were going to be a little more fancy, so this is me just showing my outfit. We went to this delicious restaurant. It was Thai, so there was curry, there was some pad Thai, and it was really cool. It had this arc in stone, so it was just a cool area. The next day we were kind of tired, so we just went to the Time Out Market and decided to just eat a couple hours worth of a day. We stopped at this donut shop first. They were called American Donuts, but I've never had a donut like this in America. I'm sure they exist. They were massive. You definitely don't need more than one. And they had this cool little market inside Time Out too, so you could buy souvenirs again. And then we just finished the night up with some delicious food. The next day we were going to Sintra. So we went to the train station. You could leave from Rosio, which was right by our Airbnb. And it was a pretty quick train ride. I think it was only like 30-40 minutes. And we got there early. We were there at about 8 a.m. So we got some croissants, and then we got an Uber up to the Quinta del Regalleria. And I'm probably butchering everything I'm saying. I'm so sorry. But we chose just to go to this castle and grounds because there was just like no way that we had the energy to go to multiple. So this is the one that we were most excited about. And I'm really glad we went to this one because the grounds were just absolutely gorgeous. And the time of day we were there, the sun and lighting was just beautiful. It was really, really cool. But it was a lot busier than I expected. The lines were insane before it even opened. We didn't have prepaid tickets. We just bought tickets there. And honestly, I would do that because the line to get in with prepaid tickets was actually way longer than the line to just buy tickets and get in. So counterintuitive, but yeah. Then we kind of walked around. We saw the chapel, which was really cute and small, but like filled with immense details. So many things to look at. It was so intricate and lovely. Then we went into the main house, which we did this before we looked at the grounds, and there were like no one around. So I would suggest that if that's the main thing you want to see. There was tons of mosaic floors. The tile work again was just so beautiful, along with all of the woodwork, the arches, just it was really opulent and gorgeous to look at, and I think it was restored really nicely as well. Like, look at these wood floors. It's insane. We had a good time walking around, but it didn't take too much time to walk around. It was probably like a max 10-minute affair inside. So yeah, I could really see myself living in a place like this, but that doesn't really exist for people these days. Then I found a cute little friend again. There's just cats everywhere, and I loved it so much. we spent the rest of our time here just walking around the grounds. There's lots of cool things to explore, like fountains, grottos, just a bunch of like little houses. I think they're mainly used for like sheds or greenhouses, that kind of thing, but it was really fun to explore. I feel like sometimes when you're traveling in cities, you don't get this like immersion into nature, and I think that's really important for myself to do when I travel because I get overstimulated pretty easily in cities. So this was like a fun kind of adventure. The inverted tower, or I guess the well, that is super famous here, which is like the main thing we wanted to see. It had an insane line. We waited in line for 40 minutes to walk through and down the well. I didn't want to at first, but I was like, you know what? We're here. We're probably never going to come back. So we might as well just wait the time and see the well. And it was really cool. I definitely don't regret waiting in line because it's like, what else were we going to do? And then you could go down to more like caves and grotto areas, which is really fun. Then we just ended the night with some delicious food, and that was it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will see you next week with another video. Tschüss!